Hey everyone, I'm Casey Hollins and you're watching the Sportsnet Digital Dose. We've got John Molinaro from Sportsnet in studio today and we're talking MLS soccer, which is very, very rapidly approaching. It's right around the corner. The season kicks off and I know that there's some previews up on the website for the Canadian team, so I want to get your take kind of on where they're headed. I want to talk to you actually about, more specifically about Toronto FC. Now, it's no secret they've had their struggles.
Yep.
Are those struggles going to continue this year, do you think?
Yeah, they're going to be bad. They've underwent a whole slew of changes in the offseason. They changed, first of all, they brought in a new general manager and club president, Kevin Payne. He fired the coach, Paul Mariner. He hired former player Ryan Nelson, who has never coached before in his life. They've traded players, most notably Eric Hasley. Torsten Frings is retired. They've seen a great exodus of players. And
I think I read somewhere there's 14 in total that have
something
left in some capacity.
And the interesting thing is that, the season kicks off Saturday. Most teams it's a 30-man roster. Currently, going in as we're taping this right now, Toronto only has 22.
Wow.
So they have depth issues. They're kind of like putting this together on the fly. So this is going to be a team that's going to struggle. I mean, defensively, I think they might be a bit better than last year when they were the worst defensive team in the league, but they're going to struggle to score and they're going to struggle in midfield. And, any chance of, forget about playoffs. Like, this is just a struggle to be competitive. So it's going to be another long, long season.
Now, I saw the GM came out kind of and said something about the rebuilding process and kind of gave it sort of an extended timeline, basically saying that this season, I'm not going to say it's a write-off because he didn't say that,
right.
But that it's rebuilding in the worst sense of the word that this year is kind of, he's looking past this year already. What does that mean for fans? Like, how do they expect fans to go to the games and buy tickets for this?
Well, it's an interesting question. I mean, and I think he's right. I mean, I think it's foolish to expect him to sort of wield a magic wand and everything is going to be fine. Kevin Payne inherited quite a mess, and he only took the job in October or November. So I think people expecting him to sort of turn this around overnight, they're just deluding themselves. It's going to take time, and I think he's got to be given, like, this year is basically a write-off. This is all a build for 2014. In terms of the fan thing, it's an interesting question. I mean, last season, towards the end of the year, Toronto FC, MLSE rolled back ticket prices to 2007 levels. So I think that's how they've kind of hooked people in coming back. But, at the end of the day, you still have to put a competitive team on the field. And if, come, the summer and Toronto's basically out of the playoff race and they're just kind of stinking up on the field, it's going to get pretty ugly down at BMO Field. I mean, it really was last year. I mean, BMO Field used to be the best sort of sports atmosphere in a game in this city, and last year it got downright ugly. It was a really foul mood. So I think they're in real danger of alienating a large part of their fan base if they don't put it together this year.
You have to think there are some fans that are just thinking, okay, we've hit rock bottom. It doesn't get any worse than this. At some point, we're going to be not back on top, but crawling out of this pit, and maybe they'll stick around. There's got to be some loyal fans out there.
Oh, there are,
like
no
with
doubt.
Any franchise.
Oh, no question, no doubt. But I mean, the problem is, keeping those fans and like attracting new ones. And if all people know is a losing product, then I think it's hard to sort of build on that fan base. And don't forget too, I think, the Blue Jays this season, right? I mean, there's a lot of hoopla about them. And, if it comes down to...
Fans were pretty frustrated a couple years ago.
I think if it comes down to, an average sports fan deciding, well, am I going to spend my disposable income on the Jays or Toronto FC? I think they're going to choose the Jays. So there's that to worry about as well. Yeah,
there's a lot of obstacles. It's an uphill battle right now. But rock bottom is not necessarily exaggerating. It's probably the correct term. So, when you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere you can go but up. That's the positive side of all of this.
I guess.
Anyway, that's all the time that we've got for right now, but thanks for coming in, John.
No problem.
Check back here in a little bit for another Sportsnet Digital Dose.